Hi everybody, Joker Plays here, and today's video is kind of a fun one, I would say. We're going to be building a school bus, but not just any school bus. This school bus will be featured in an upcoming community race event. That's going to be kind of fun. And I'm hoping in the meantime you may want to build the bus ahead of time, get some racing experience with it, because you're going to want that experience when you hit the track. So really looking forward to it. Alright, so the first step in our build is to go ahead and place down a jack. Once you do that, we're going to put down our foundation. And for the foundation, I'm going to use frost pine because, quite frankly, that's the strongest material we have right now in the game. And so that is what I like to use. Now, for the length of the bus, it does use a 32 stud long foundation. So in this particular case, I'm going to use 2 of the 16 by 8s placed lengthwise. And so that's going to be the start of your foundation. Now, we could stack these 3 high. That's easy. But what I like to do is stagger my foundation pieces, simply because if they ever change any of the attaching mechanics in the game, I do not want to have joints showing in the middle. So this is what I like to do. So I've staggered some pieces, put some 8x on the end, another 16 in the front, and then I'm going to do 3 high. And that is placed wrong. Alright, so we have a foundation now that is complete, that is 3 high, staggered, and built for strength. So this is our basic foundation. Now you need to choose one end that you want to use as the front of your bus. I'm going to choose this with all the 1 pieces, and then I always use the dark pieces here to signify the rear for me. So to start, I'm going to go ahead and start. Let me filter some of these builds out. I am using the Pleasant Park builds. Turn on utility. And let's see, what else? Let me add some additional builds here. So I am using the Durr Burger as well, the roof pieces in particular. So let me filter by that for right now. And so to begin, I'm going to use the wall pieces. Now feel free to substitute any of these pieces for other items if you want to. Your school bus does not have to be yellow. In my particular case, I'm building mine that is yellow. And so I'm going to take this piece, put it up front, and then I'm also going to put 2 more directly center on the sides. Alright, then I'm going to get the single wide piece, I'm going to attach it, so you should see the wide up front, but it should be flush. Let's try this again. Okay, rotate it, so I should have the yellow on the side and the white up front. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add yet another piece here. 1 here to the side, another one here to the side. This is where I'm going to start working on the back. Alright, now this is the basic shape of our bus. So this is the doorway in the rear. And these are all the half walls that are now in place. Looks like I need to filter again. Okay, so I'm going to start off by using these single pieces. So here we go. I'm going to put 4 of these here at the end. And that completes the doorway for the rear. Then I'm now going to go to the front. I'm going to use the same piece, but 4 of them wide. Make it flush to the top. Now I'm going to start off by putting one of these at the very top. Okay, so I have one of these sitting across. This is now working on the foundation part. Now this was the front of our bus. So the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put some turning wheels on. These are going to be the large tires. So here are large steerables. It's going to go right in the middle. And the piece should also be flush with the bottom. So you see that piece right there is flush with the bottom. I will put another large steerable here on the bottom. Is it flush? Yes, it is good to go. So our front wheels are in place. Now we're going to put powered wheels, large, in the back. Same concept. It is flush. And same thing in the rear. And it is flush. Every now and then it's going to be a half stud up, so you just need to break the wheel and go ahead and put that in place. Now for the next step, you can now go back in and put the additional Durburger piece here on the side. Surprisingly, learning when I was doing this build, I could not put the second piece putting on the steerable wheels, but I could put it on with the non-steerable wheels or the regular wheels in the back. So if you wanted to put this on for the back first, that's fine. But you have to put your tires on first, and then you can put that piece in, and then it seals it up pretty good. Alright, so our tires in place. I'm going to go ahead and change direction now. So these are going the correct direction from the front of the bus. And now I'm going to go ahead and work on the fenders. So for the fenders, I'm going to utilize the medium fender. I'm going to make sure that that is flush with the side of the bus. You'll see the yellow and the orange kind of lining up that way. I'm going to do the same thing all the way around on this one side to start off with. Make sure you put your dot right at the bottom piece there, and that'll put it in the right place as long as you nudge it. Now I'm going to do this side. Same thing. Place your little dot there at the bottom. Move it. Nudge it up. You're good to go. Good to go. Now I'm going to rotate the piece. Do the same thing, but going from the other direction. Same thing with this side. Alright, now I'm going to go back to the Durburger roof piece once again. It's going to be the single one. And I'm going to kind of center it here. Nudge it forward, backwards. It should look like that to where it's just kind of centered. This just completes the look of the fender. Alright, that one is good. That one is now good. And that one is good. Alright, so our fenders are now complete. The front of the bus shape is pretty good. And we are good to go. From here, what I like to do next is I'm going to be putting on the bumpers. And I just noticed I have a piece that's rotated incorrectly, so let me fix that. Alright, so the edges should always have the white showing. Alright, so this is where we're going to rotate our first piece. And we are going to need to rotate a regular piece. So instead of using the switch, I like to use the thrusters. In this case, it's going to have to be the large thruster, and I will set it up exactly right there at the top. Okay, there's not going to be any overhang. It's all nice and flush. That's going to ensure that you put the piece in the right spot. And let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to select one of the new black pieces. It could be any of the new black pieces or something dark. So this is the Dine-In Der Burger restaurant. So just line it up, and then now it's going to sit flush from the bottom. And then we're going to go ahead and stack another one and put it on. Okay, your pieces should end up being flush with the bottom. If they are not flush with the bottom, that means that the thruster is in the wrong place. So pay close attention to where you place this thruster to make sure that the alignment is the same. So we've done the back of the bus, and now we are going to go ahead and do the same for the front of the bus. All right, we are now at the front of the bus, and we are going to begin putting on the front bumpers. And in order to do the front bumpers, we are going to do the same thing with our large thruster. We're going to put it roughly in the same spot. We're going to shift it over, so I'm going to use the right side, but still keeping it even to the top. And then now I'm going to go ahead and put my bumper piece on here. And so we have stacked two, and everything is nice and flush yet again. So all is good. Now, from here, I'm going to want to go ahead and put my headlights on. But in order to do that, I have to actually shift this thruster up. Otherwise, it will not be placed in the right location. So I'm going to kind of nudge it to where it's halfway over now. So instead of being flush with the top, now I'm moved it up to be halfway. And then now I'm going to select the Acres shaded lamp for this particular case. And that's going to put this lamp one little bit above, but still on the left corner. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. But I'm going to want it on the right corner instead this time. So that's going to do the accurate placement of the light. If you were to place this thruster back to where it was originally, with it being flush there to the top, if I go to place that lamp, it will end up being too low and positioned incorrectly. So that's the reason I moved it. Simply because I needed the additional spacing to put some of these blue Tatooine lights in place. And so I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now I'm going to have my blue lights up front. Those are going to be spaced out correctly. And then the last step is to put on my grill, which will be the Beachy Railing 3. You can use a different colored grill if you want. That's the one I'm using. I like to keep it flush with the very top. So that will complete the front end with the bumpers and those particular lights. Now, from here, this is where I'm going to begin working on the inside, the steering and the turning capacity. And so for doing that, I'm going to add some thrusters up front. One after another. And then the rear, I'm going to do the same thing. But this time, I'm going to nudge this one forward instead of being on top of each other. And the whole reason for that is to allow you to enter the bus freely. So if they were stacked on top of each other, for some reason it does not let you in the doorway. I'm not exactly sure, so I just kind of go with it. So this is how I arrange the thrusters in the back. Now, to do the turning capacity, I am going to put these on channel 2. So the ones on the right side on channel 2, and the ones on the left side on channel 1. And then when I look over here, flip around looking this way, I'm going to do the exact same thing, which means that they are crisscrossed. And these are now good to go. All right. From here, I'm going to start working on the front end portion, which is going to take me to a new floor piece. Again, you can use different colors. This is just the one that I'm going to use. And I am selecting the wood thin floor number 3 from Pleasant Park. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And then from here, just to give it the nice wood design, or hood design, make it shapely, I'm going to do 1 nub off, and I'm going to do 3 of them stack by stack. So that's going to give us our basic hood design. And then from here, this is where it's going to allow me to do the placement of my seat. So I'm going to put a wood foundation, number 1, put it right there. So this is going to be equal to this. Okay. So you drop that in, and then in this particular case, I'm going to drop my seat, which will be a large driver seat. If you know me, I don't typically use large driver seats, but this is the time that I do. And now we can test some of our thrusters. So this takes us to the right. This takes us to the left, just to confirm. Right, left. Good to go. So our thrusters are now in place. And the next thing I want to do is go ahead and place seating, the bench seating. And in order to do that, I'm going to go back to my roof pieces with Durburger, and I'm going to drop, you see it's got 2 block space from the seat. And then I'm going to go 1, 2 with the singles. And that is good to go. And then I'm going to go to the seats. You have a choice to use seats. I like using the seats that come with the Battle Bus set. So I'm going to start from the back. I'm going to put 2 spaces. And this is now good to go. So now you have your seating in place, and these are fully functional seats, by the way. So if you have guests or people who ride, you are good to use them at all times. Now we're going to begin to work on the top of the bus. And for that, I'm going to switch gears here, and we're going to use some fence pieces. And this is where I'm going to use the acres railing. So I'm going to start off by going 1, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go back to this first one. So that one is in place. Then I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and our 12th piece here. And what that does is it creates our doorway in the back of the bus, and that is good. So now, for the next piece, where we start to create our window area, I'm going to stack right here. If you look, this aligns with this particular fender on this side. So you're going to stack 2 high. And then we are going to go to our 3rd nub there. See a 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. 1, 2, 3. And that gives us the alignment for our window. So we're going to do the same thing here on this side. And then 1, 2, 3 nubs there. And that is good to go. So now we've got our windows in place. So now the very next step is now we're going to start putting in our roof line. And the funny part about the roof is we're going to use roof pieces, which are the Durburger pieces yet again, but this time we're going to use the longer ones. Well, a combination of long ones and short ones. So now this time I'm getting the 16 long one. We're going to make it sit on top, go all the way till it's flush. Yes. We're going to do that a couple of times. Alright, so we're starting to create our roof line. Then we're going to put so that is now in place. And then this is where we're going to get another fender, because now we're going to begin to create our windshield. So the same fenders we used on the side is the same fenders that we are going to use on these pieces also. And it should be 2 blocks away. There we go. Or 2 nubs away, because we're going to go ahead and tuck in a single piece on that side. So we've got 2 single pieces there, and then we're going to go back to our 4 wide one. And put 2 side by side. And that's going to create the complete roof line. So our bus exterior and interior shape is essentially complete. And now we get to doll this thing up even further. To do that, I'm going to start in the back. Now we are going to want to put some thrusters to give this some oomph going forward. So I'm going to start with 4 thrusters. Here. Here. So we're putting 4 small thrusters there on the side. And then I'm going to go ahead and put on some of my tail lights. And to do that, you have options. In my particular case, I'm going to use the new Mechanics caution lights. I'm going to center those. So I'm going to put those right there. And then now I'm going to start to decorate the bus. Now for me, doing a little bit of decorations, I have found that this particular poster or wall art really blends the colors together. So I like putting that in there. It kind of simulates a window. And it also contains the same colors of the bus, so everything matches. And because, you know, this is kind of a unique, fun project, I'm putting on a sword as well in the back. And this is where you can decorate the side of the bus if you want. My particular bus, if you have a few of them, you can put banners on the side. We've got some new pieces that would look great as well from some of the new sets. Even the banana looks great if you wanted to put that on the side. So let's go ahead and use the banana. It is a new set, so we're going to put the bananas on the side. Nice happy face. Can't go wrong there. And so we are decorating the bus with bananas in this case. So I like it. So since this adds a happy vibe, I don't think the sword belongs here now. So we're going to take this off. Alrighty, now for the last and final trick. This one takes a little bit, so I want everybody to kind of pay close attention. We're going to do a double invert here to do the final lights to make the top of the bus look more realistic. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and start by placing a foundation piece 6 nubs over and centered from the bus. So you see this is the center, and I'm 6 nubs over, and this is where I'm going to place a small thruster. There on the side. Okay, so I've got this piece in place, that thruster in place, and what I'm going to do is I need to invert another block on its side, so that's where I'm going to get this foundation piece, and I want to bring this down till it touches, and then move it forward until now it's flush with the face of the bus. Okay, so all of that to get this block in this place, and that's where I'm going to go ahead and get the mechanics caution light once again, and when I aim it to the bus, it does rotate it automatically, and I want to place that light exactly where it's at. Okay, this way the red and stuff is on the side. Now I'm going to repeat the same process, but I'm going to flip all the blocks to be on the other side. And that's going to take care of the block, or it's going to take care of the light on the other side. So here I go, invert the thruster, aim right there, get another foundation block, move it forward, nudge it up, it is nice and flush there in the front. And so now I'm going to get the light, place it down, and it's good to go. Knock these out. And our bus is now complete. Look at that front end. Looks great. The wheels are turned. Banana bus. Got a hamburger in the back there, and it's ready to go. All we need to do is drop it. So I'm gonna drop it, go back to daylight, and we're gonna take this thing out for a spin and see you back in a minute. All right, now before we take this out for a spin, there's one final step. We want to give this thing some mirrors, and in order to do that, we are going to go ahead and once again place a thruster on the side there of the vehicle. Aim for it, and we're going to actually be placing a light for a side mirror. So I'm going to aim this here to tilt it. That is in place, and then I'm going to nudge it over until the light is right there, and that definitely gives it the mirror effect for the school bus. Lets it fit very well, so I've placed that one, and now I'm going to go over to here, do the exact same thing. So I've got the thruster in place. I'm now going to select my light, aim it, turn it till it's in the appropriate direction, and nudge it on over, and that is now in place. And now this bus is now completely done with rear view mirrors, the whole front end, Peely side panels, you name it. This is good to go. Alright everybody, I hope you like this build. I am definitely looking forward to the racing series that I have coming up that's going to feature this build on a track. More to come on that soon enough, so hopefully you all partake in the community event and I get to see you then. So until next time, have a good one everybody. Hi everyone, Joker Plays here again. I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank you for watching the video, and if you have a moment, please like and subscribe for some more additional content. And by the way, YouTube seems to think that you're going to like this other video you see on your screen, so if you haven't done so already or have seen the video, by all means click on this video and enjoy that one as well. Thanks again everyone. Have a good one.